Good day, learners.
Good day, ma'am.
How are you?
We are fine, thank you. And how are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Virginia Mahlale. I'm a grade 4 teacher at Makgatho Primary School. My lesson today is all about storytelling. Today, our lesson is all about storytelling. I started my lesson by telling the kids the children that I'm going to read them a story. I want you to listen very attentively, and then at the end of the story, there's going to be questions. By telling the learners what I'm going to do with them, it's to give them my expectations. They've got to know the objectives of the lesson beforehand, so that when I tell the story, they have to understand. Before we can start with our story, I've got the words from our book bank. Before I started with my story, I flashed the cards. Those cards were having the words which are difficult. Make a sentence with this word. Place it on the board. Anyhow, make a sentence with the word yes.
We listen to the chief when they talk.
We listen to the chief when he talks. So I have to flash those words before, so that when I read the story, I mustn't go back to the words and explain the words. Right, let us go to the next one. Who can tell us what is this word? Nobuhle?
Torches.
Again, Nobuhle?
Torches.
Torches. Everybody?
Torches.
What are torches? Who can tell me what is a torch? A torch, yes?
We use when it is darkness.
We use a torch when it is dark. With me here, I've got a small torch. A small torch. You see? It is making some light. It's very important for a teacher to keep on interacting with the learners. We are going to our story. The name of our story, it's The Village of Darkness. What is it?
The Village of Darkness.
Again?
The Village of Darkness.
Before I started telling the story, I showed them the book and I read the name of the story. I told them the name of the story and I asked them questions. That what is the meaning of darkness? And then what is the meaning of village? I wanted them to understand before they can go straight to the story. A long time ago, in the Valley of Darkness, there was a little village of the Abalala people. These people who were living in the village, they called them the Abalala people. Abalala people. The role of imagination, it's very big in people of their age, because at some stage, when you test their listening skill, when I start telling the story, they must build some pictures in their minds. The Abalala people had meat to eat and they had no enemies. They had a wise and just chief. Their chief was wise and just. And their village was always dark. They always lived in the dark. How will you feel if you live in a village where there is darkness every day? Yes, Pumzile?
I will feel bad.
Yes, I will feel bad. I kept on asking the learners the questions when I was reading. After the story, I gave the learners the group work, and the work was different, and I gave them the work according to their learning abilities. For instance, the first group, I gave them to arrange the story in pictures. Those are the learners who are encountering difficulties in learning. And then as for the other group, I gave them the story in paragraphs, to arrange the story in paragraphs. As they arranged the story in paragraphs, they had to read along the lines. So those are the learners who are able to read. And the other group, I gave them the questions.
What did the chief's sons go to look for?
Speak loud, speak loud.
Group reading card. A. From here is here.
Speak loud, speak loud.
From here is here. From here is here.
Very good. Clap hands for yourself. Very good, very good. And then the reading group. Let us check on the reading group. Did you fill in the answers? Why did the dog decide to help Mulimbu? Why did, yes? Because he greeted the dog first and he was kind to the dog. Who can read the first one for us? Yes, read. You must read loud so that everybody can hear you.
A long time ago in the valley of darkness, there was a little village of the Abalala people.
Very good. And then the second one, yes.
The Abalala had meat to eat.
As I'm giving them group work, I have to run around, move around to their groups. I have to check whether they understand. And sometimes when you give them group work and sit down, they don't do the work. I was very happy that when I teach, they listen and they look at me and they try to imitate what I was doing. And it is very important for me to become a very good role model to them.